Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Cody Johnson. I want to welcome everyone to our final game of the day here in Ephrata, Washington. And this is the last game of our pool play, our round robin. We've got Onondaga going against the Columbia Basin River Dogs. Now with me here is Alan Dale, our sports writer at the Columbia Basin Herald. Alan, thank you so much for joining us here this afternoon.
Hi, how you doing today? It's afternoon, it's like evening now. You've been here all day. I think you're still in afternoon mode.
Yeah, it is. It's been a long day, but it's been fun. A lot of good baseball. Now, Alan, tell me, we've got, it may be confusing for some of the fans out there, the tiebreaker situation we've got going for this game here.
Yeah, we've had to kind of bump our heads together to figure out exactly what's happening, but here is the update that we have as of now. As we know, Mobile earlier today, beat Ottumwa 7-6. Mobile wins this group hands down with a 3-1 record. They will be the first seed out of the National Division. American Division, sorry. They will be the number 1 seed based on the fact that if the River Dogs were to win this game, they would still both finish 3-1, and they would end up being in a tie, which would give Mobile the head-to-head because of the win. Now, would be putting us in a situation where if the River Dogs win, that takes care of everything. They're number 2, Mobile's number 1, and Ottumwa would be number 3. Okay? Now, here's the second situation. Basically, if the River Dogs lose, here's how it plays out. Because Ottumwa gave up the least amount of runs already between the 3 teams, that would be 2-2, which is Ottumwa, Onondaga, and the River Dogs, they automatically get pulled out of the tiebreaker. So they're in. Now it's just a matter of who's what. So basically, if the River Dogs win this, they're obviously going to go. If they lose, because now Onondaga beat the River Dogs are out. So this is a win and you're second, and a lose and you're fourth, and you're out. So, and then Onondaga would take third, and Ottumwa would be second. So the only 2 finishes we have possible are River Dogs 2, Ottumwa 3, or Ottumwa 2, Onondaga 3. It's the only way it's going to happen, and so that's where we stand.
All right, so we've got a must-win for our River Dogs. What can you tell us about this matchup here this afternoon?
Well, first thing I noticed when I came in and I looked at the lineup that they're going to throw Ryan O'Kane, and if you recall, Ryan O'Kane was the reason why San Gabriel is not here probably, because he locked them down pretty good on the first day and showed a lot of moxie. So I think they're going to face a good pitcher, and as we have seen, our biggest problem right now is that this team, the River Dogs, just not hitting the ball, and you combine a good pitcher against a non-hitting offense, we could see some problems. So we have to see what we're going to have to do next.
Now, the pitching's been pretty good. This last game, when the River Dogs were facing up against that team from Alabama, you mentioned it's been a bend but don't break, and I guess they did kind of break a little bit.
Yeah, the problem we have right now is with the River Dogs, watching the River Dogs, is that they've had pitchers who have come through and done what they needed to do without breaking. They didn't break until the 4th inning, and they broke against a very good team. They punished mistakes. And so where we're at now is you have Mitch Yeda going tonight for the River Dogs. He has pitched very well last month. He's healthy now. He's been tweaking his delivery a little bit. I think he's ready to do something for this team tonight. However, the thing that is also hurting this team is that it was bound to happen. When your pitchers are relied upon to keep you in the game inning after inning after inning, it becomes difficult. And I will revisit it. They scored their most runs, 7, in 1 inning, when a team basically blew an inning-ending double play and then melted down. Without that, you're talking about a team who scored 6 runs. They're batting .215. Tonight, against a good pitcher and a team that also, Onondaga, doesn't show the greatest ability to come back, it is necessary for the River Dogs to finally score early, score often, even if I'll take a 4-run lead early, give Yeda the confidence to throw, and keep them at bay. But I'll tell you right now, if you get this game again 1-0, 1-1, 0-0, you're playing into the hands of the opposition, because this team has not been able to hit in these late stages of games, and that is a concern. Because even when they beat Ottumwa, it was a chip here, and an error, and that, so there hasn't been a lot of balls going on the outfield. Our pitchers for the River Dogs have played well, thrown well, but you're asking a lot of them at this point.
All right, Alan, thank you so much.
Thank you. Hope we have a good night.
All right, folks, we are about 10 minutes away from game time. Like to welcome everyone who's tuning in. We are doing a simulcast on ColumbiaBasinHerald.com. Like to welcome our internet fans, as well as the viewers on iFiber Communications Channel 1. Those of you out there in Douglas and Chelan and Grand County. All right, folks, we're going to take a short break here, and we'll be back with some starting lineups.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta grasp it.
It's not that we kept fair. Like, I think we're really
So you can go ahead and be the second place team, and Noblesville will be, Indiana will be your third place team on the other side. So if the Columbia Basin River Dogs can go ahead and make it in as number 2, they would be going against Noblesville, Indiana on the flip-flop of the 3-2. That's the only position that the River Dogs can get. They would make them 3-1. Mobile has a 3-1 record, but they lost directly head-to-head. That would push it down to number 2, and Ottumwa would be 2-2. So that's what we're hoping for the River Dogs. And the Onondaga team is going to be throwing a pitcher that they threw the first day in the first game of this tournament. So Ryan O'Kane will be throwing again. He threw game 1. He'll be throwing game 20 tonight. Tomorrow night we go into our pool play. And that is where the 3s and the 2s will flip-flop over and play at 5 o'clock tomorrow night and 8 o'clock tomorrow night. The winners of those games will play the 1 seeds the following night. Now, the 3 seeds, if they win, they'll be going against the number 1 seeds that they already faced in their own pool. If the 2s happen to win, they'll be flip-flopping over and playing the other 1. That's how it's set up. So I'll go ahead and go over Onondaga, New York's lineup. They're going to start off with number 4, Alex Caruso, the center fielder. Number 10, Brett Charbonneau, the shortstop, will be second. Number 20, Pat Wright, the third baseman, will be third. Number 15, Sean Peak, the catcher, will be cleanup. Number 18, Chris Davis, the first baseman, will be hitting 5th. Number 14, David Campisi, the left fielder, will be hitting 6th. Number 8, Nathan Nagolian, the right fielder, will be hitting 7th. Number 6, Ryan O'Kane, the pitcher, will be hitting 8th. And number 11, Mark Centanola, the second baseman, will be hitting 9th. First pitch is going out there. And taking back the ball will be River Dog Matt Noyola. Or actually, and we get another first pitch that's getting ready to go. Columbia Basin is going to be starting off with number 5, Davis Engel, the second baseman. Number 16, Brighton Radall, the left fielder, will be second. Number 22, Cameron Alvarado, the shortstop, hitting 3rd. Number 18, Chris Walker, the right fielder, hitting 4th. Number 11, Stockton Taylor, the third baseman, hitting 5th. Number 21, Josh Snyder, will be the first baseman, hitting 6th. Number 20, Matt Noyola, the catcher, hitting 7th. Number 2, Mitch Yada, the pitcher, hitting 8th. Number 10, Rico Moreno, the center fielder, hitting 9th. I'm going to go ahead and break away for about 90 seconds as we're getting ready to sing the Star Spangled Banner. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in about 90 seconds. Welcome back, Senior Babe Ruth fans. We're getting ready to go into Game 20. The coaches are coming out to meet out and talk to the umpires. And so I want to remind you, you can also watch on webcast as well as listen to us at www.columbiabasinherald.com. cbhtv.mobi, and we're at iFiber Channel 1. So the Columbia Basin River Dogs will be the home team tonight against Onondaga, New York. And it's real simple for them. They must win and in, and lose, and they're out. So in and win tomorrow night. Find out if once they win, if they win. Take that approach, when they win, and we'll get a time whether it'll be either 5 or 8. And looking here, the American and the national.
Becky's pictures on Facebook. We took Jack's portrait.
That was so cute. His little helmet. Oh my
going
God.
over the rules with the umpires. And while we wait for the teams to warm up, I believe we'll go ahead and go away for about another 60 seconds and hear some more from our sponsors. Reminding you, this is the 2011 16 to 18-year-old Senior Babe Ruth World Series Broadcasting Network.
Like, I almost like forget what she's saying. And she always just spits with her stomach out like you when she's.
Come on down to the 2011 Grant County Fair. Tons of fun for the family and lots of activities and crafts, food and livestock, the Moses Lake Rodeo Roundup and the Demo Derby, and lots of other stuff. The 2011 Fair will be held between August 16th through August 20th. So come on down and bring the family. You can find us at the fairgrounds here in Moses Lake.
Welcome back, Senior Babe Ruth fans. We're in Ephrata, Washington at Johnson O'Brien Stadium, and we're about ready to get Game 20 underway. Out taking his form of pitches is going to be Mitch Yeda.
Yeah, and then like once you start going, then you just like touch fairly perfectly fine.
This is his last pitch. Catcher Matt Nayola will go back.
And then it like, you know how it like makes a bunch of noise.
Talk to him on the mound, and he works his way back as leadoff hitter. Number 4, Alex Caruso, the center fielder, will step into the batter's box. Alex bats from the left-hand side. Yeda is a left-handed pitcher. And our first pitch is going to be on the inside corner, strike 1. So getting off to a good start is Mitch Yeda. Two teams are pretty evenly matched, I think. Next pitch on the way is Yeda. That's outside. Ball 1. So Mitch, the key to success for Yeda is control. It's like Seth Darling last night. That pitch is low. Ball 2. 2-1 now. The count on Alex Caruso. So the other side of the bracket, the other pool was Portland and then Team Cape Cod and Noblesville, Indiana. There's strike 2. Good call from the umpire as far as, but it's a little delayed, so I'll have to wait and see what he rings it up since I can't hear him verbally. Yeda's next pitch is going to be fouled off down the left field side for keeping the count at 2-2 on Alex Caruso. On deck is number 10, Brett Charbonneau, the shortstop. And that pitch is in the dirt and outside for Yeda. And the count now full on Caruso. Looking around, got another great crowd here for the River Dogs. People coming out and supporting. And strike 3 on the inside corner. And down goes Caruso. So when the count is full, Yeda pulling through. 1 away, and that's going to bring up number 10, Brett Charbonneau, the shortstop. Charbonneau stands at the right side, both him and Caruso. A little bit more on the smaller side. Kind of your leadoff speedsters. Trying to set the table. And the next pitch on the Charbonneau is for a strike. Can actually hear the crowd cheering before I actually can determine whether or not it's been called a ball and a strike. Next delivery on the way is fouled off straight back. 1-2 now the count on Charbonneau. And a new baseball out to Mitch. 1-2 delivery is fouled off down the right field side and out of play. So Nayola sends out a new baseball to his pitcher out there. 1-2's your count on Charbonneau. That's back to Yeda. He'll run over towards first baseman Josh Snyder, and 1 down. Score at 1-3 on Brett Charbonneau. 2 out in the inning. It's going to bring up the third hitter, number 20, Pat Wright, the third baseman. So 2 away here in the top half of the first, just getting started in the game. Mitch is from Moses Lake, 18 years old, goes to Moses Lake High School. That pitch is fouled off and out of play. Getting a new baseball and an 0-1 count on Pat Wright. No score, just starting, no base runners. The next pitch is a curveball, and it'll be hit out there towards Alvarado. Throwing over and getting right to Snyder for the third out of the inning. So 3 up and 3 down. There was no runs on no hits, and there were no River Dog errors. And after 1/2 an inning, we got Onondaga, New York, 0. The Columbia Basin River Dogs coming up. This is the 2011 16 to 18-year-old Senior Babe Ruth World Series Broadcasting Network. We'll be right back in 1 minute. Welcome back, Senior Babe Ruth fans, to the 2011 16 to 18-year-old Senior Babe Ruth World Series. And we've got the Columbia Basin River Dogs facing off against Onondaga, New York. Winner goes on. Loser is finished. And as we're getting our warm-up pitches going here, we'll be waiting for number 5, Davis Engel, the second baseman and the leadoff hitter for the Columbia Basin River Dogs, to step up to the plate. They had the diamond dig out here for Harrison's Jewelers, and they had quite a crowd. I don't think they ever did find all the bags. There was 12 of them, and they had different things in the bags, and then they opened up afterwards. And but I believe the first guy actually dug up a bag. Yes, there was guys to have more participation. Obviously, I didn't know that. Otherwise, I would have been out there trying to dig my wife up a diamond who didn't have the guts to go out there and do it. So the first guy to actually dump up a bag looked like the guy who actually came away with it when it was all said and done. Davis Engel will go ahead and step in here in the bottom half of the first inning, and he will be reminded, that's the third one tonight that I've seen, that jewelry cannot be worn on the outside of the uniform to show up. Obviously, we got too many Hugh Hefners playing the game anymore. Actually, it just has a lot to do with the umpire, too, of who really wants to push that they don't want to see no jewelry. But that is the third one. There was one on the last game from Puget Sound and one from Cape Cod that had to take off a necklace. Davis Engel looked at a strike on the outside corner for 0-1. Getting underway in the bottom half of the first inning. That's going to be grounded and foul. As coming out from behind the plate was Sean Peak, and it was really hard to tell if that ball was going to go foul or not because it was really hugging the chalk. And at the last second, it went foul about the same time that Sean kind of did his own little slide and kind of landed and grabbed it at the same time, roughly about 3 inches foul. So Davis will come back with an 0-2 count now. Pitcher is Ryan O'Kane. He'll throw the first one outside there to waste a pitch for 1-2 on Engel. O'Kane throwing the first game and getting the win against San Gabriel. Swing and a miss from Engel on a curveball for strike 3. One down for Columbia Basin. It's going to bring up number 16, Brighton Radall, the left fielder. So Brighton hitting number 2. Getting a chance to play at left field today. And that pitch is over for a strike. Umpire's got a pretty good zone. Got a couple hard-throwing pitchers out there. And that pitch is high. Breaking ball didn't come down quite enough. 1-1 now on Brighton. That'll be fouled off and out of play down the right field side. So 1-2 now your count on Radall. Never met a Radall that couldn't hit. That's why he comes in, not playing every day, and automatically is inserted in the second spot in the lineup. Brother Kern got Monty down here in the stands that I already saw. That pitch is outside for ball 2. 2-2 now the count. Scoreboard's kind of trying to throw me off. It says 1-2, but it is 2-2. Swung on and missed, and the ball gets by the catcher, but he will get it as Brighton doesn't take off right away, so it would have been a lot closer had Brighton taken off on the ball that got away from the catcher, Peak. So 2 strikeouts already for O'Kane, and that's going to bring up number 22, Cameron Alvarado. Alvarado, most of this tournament, has been hitting number 2. This will be the first night of him hitting 3rd in this tournament. And he looks at strike 1. Cameron, one of the highest averages on the team at 420, 418, right around there. You look at strike 2, another curveball exactly in the same place. The only other ones up there is like Chris Walker, and up in the 400s. That ball is fouled off and out of play for Cameron Alvarado. He does have the most home runs on the team at 6. And he walks a lot more than he strikes out. 24 walks on 15 strikeouts. Next pitch on the way to him is low for 1-2 now on Alvarado. Moses Lake High School, 17 years old. Swing and a miss. Strikes out the side, does O'Kane, so he's come back strong from his last outing. And 3 Ks in the book. After 1 inning is complete, it's Onondaga, New York 0, Columbia Basin 0. This is the 2011 16 to 18-year-old Senior Babe Ruth World Series Broadcasting Network. We'll be right back after this one.
Come on down to the 2011 Grant County Fair. Tons of fun for the family and lots of activities and crafts, food and livestock. the Moses Lake Rodeo Roundup, and the Demo Derby, and lots of other stuff. The 2011 fair will be held between August 16th through August 20th. So come on down and bring the family. You can find us at the fairgrounds here in Moses Lake.
Welcome back, Senior Babe Ruth fans, to Ephrata, Washington, where we got your 16 to 18-year-old 2001 Senior Babe Ruth World Series happening, and we're in Game 20 of the pool play. And right now there's no score as we're going in the top half of the second between Onondaga, New York, and Columbia Basin River Dogs. Winner in, loser out. And the first pitch from Yeda is just outside for ball one. So I did find out that if the River Dogs were to win, they would be the American #2 team, which means they'd play at 8 p.m. tomorrow night. There's a sawed-off. What a play by Cameron Alvarado. He drifted back on a little popper that was just about ready to go over his head for a single, and he absolutely jumps in the air and lands on his knees in a little trick play and comes up with that one. So fabulous play for Alvarado to bring Sean Peak to the first out. It's going to bring up Chris Davis, the first baseman, and he'll foul the first pitch off to the right side and out of play. Great play by Alvarado. And it's big plays like that that can make a difference here on the game that will either get you in or does it. That it'll be a base hit between third baseman Stockton Taylor and Cameron Alvarado at shortstop. And they tried to do the old kind of trick play as Chris Davis was kind of coming off. They had Josh Snyder kind of follow him out about halfway down as catcher Matt Naola tried to sneak in behind to get the pickoff. They threw it over there, but back in time was Chris Davis after his single. It's going to bring up number 14, David Campisi, the left fielder. So taking his lead is Chris Davis over at first base, one out, top half of the second. First pitch is in the dirt to Campisi for 1-0. First hit of the ball game was Chris Davis. No score, top of the second. Next, it's going to be a throw over to first base. Back in plenty of time is Chris Davis. Yeda is a left-hander, so when he comes set, he's looking over at Davis. He's in a stretch. Here's the pitch. And did he wave at it? Umpire doesn't appeal it, so. And now he does, and he says no swing down at first base. Count now 2-0 on Campisi. Yeda comes set. Next delivery on the way is high for ball 3. 3-0 now on Campisi with Chris Davis down at first base. On deck is number 8, Nathan Nagolian. Fake bunt, ball 4 inside, so now there's 2 aboard after the base on balls to Campisi. Nathan Nagolian, the right fielder, will step in there. He's a right-handed batter. Now, if Onondaga should get in, New York fans, then they would play at the 5 o'clock game because they would be the number 3. here's your pitch. Swung on and fouled off a Neola, so he'll stand up and kind of walk around a little bit there. 0-1 the count. And also Ottumwa, Iowa, should they be the number 3 seed, they would play at 5 p.m. tomorrow night. That's when the American 3 plays the National 2, and the National 2 is Cape Cod. So Columbia Basin, if they win, they would play the number 3. It's the only thing they can go in is number 2. They'd play Noblesville, Indiana at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Next pitch on the way is going to be a well-hit ball out in between, out by right field, and it's going to take Chris Walker back a little bit. One run's going to come in to score. The hesitation is going to allow the second run to come in and score. So Onondaga with an RBI, 2 RBI double from Nathan Nagolian. Drawing first blood early on this do-or-die game. With 2 hits and 1 walk so far and 3 straight batters. That's going to send up the pitcher, number 6, Ryan O'Kane, with 1 out here in the top half of the second. So Yeda looking in.
I have some coaching tips for him if he continues this.
And here's the pitch. Strike, curveball, outside corner. 0-1.
Chippy is he, as I remember.
Oh, but he's doing pitches now, which he never used to do.
So Yeda looking back in on the stretch.
He's on first base, so he can't, he's not like that.
Oh, man, he was on
Next delivery is called time before. Stepping out of the box is O'Kane. Yeda's next delivery on the way is swing and a miss. 0-2 now on O'Kane. Looking to get an out here are the River Dogs. Man at second. 2 are in the top half of the second, and a 2-0 lead by Onondaga right now. There goes the runner, and he stole that one pretty much on Yeda. He's got a big lead, and nobody's really holding him on enough, and allowing probably a good 5 to 6 step lead by the quick Nathan Nagolian. So down at third base is Nathan. But that was a strikeout. And that's going to bring up Mark Centinola, the second baseman. So I thought the pitch was a little bit high, but I look back now, and 2 outs on the scoreboard, and we have no count. Pitch from Yeda. Swing and a miss. Inside curveball. 0-1. So 2 down. Man at third. 2 are in. Top half of the second. 2-0's your score. New York over the Columbia Basin River Dogs right now. Here's the next delivery. Just missing on the inside corner. 1-1. Got a little breeze kind of blowing out. This is the first time I've seen it really blowing out towards left. So anybody connects, that ball could easily leave the yard now with our right-handed power hitters. And that pitch is in the dirt, and it was a hard time for Neola to find it. He was sitting right on the chalk line on the batter's box as Centinola looked down at third base and said, nope, it's right here at the plate. 2-1 the count. That ball's low and inside. So 3-1 now the count on Centinola. And still over at third base is Nathan Nagolian after he's had a couple RBIs in this inning. Looking to try to get in himself. Next pitch from Yeda is going to be a grounder out to Stockton Tabler. He will snag it and throw it over to Josh Snyder. Good play to get out of the inning. So 3 outs after 2 runs came in. And the Columbia Basin River Dogs find themselves down by a score of 2-0 after 1.5. This is the 2011 16 to 18-year-old Senior Babe Ruth World Series Broadcasting Network. We'll be right back in about 60 seconds. Johnson O'Brien Stadium. We're getting ready to go in the bottom half of the second inning between Onondaga, New York and the Columbia Basin River Dogs, where the River Dogs find themselves down by a score of 2-0. They're going to send up number 18, Chris Walker, the cleanup hitter. And he'll look at O'Kane's first pitch outside for ball one. Reminding you can also watch as well as listen on your 2011 National Babe Ruth World Series. Next pitch on the way is outside also. Nope, that's called a strike. There's the delayed call. 1-1. And you can watch it on www.columbiabasinherald.com. I-Fiber Channel 1. And the next pitch is ball 2. 2-1 now on Chris Walker. And you can also watch it on your mobile at cbhtv.mobi. 2-1's the count on Walker, and that'll be fouled off and out of play. Evening up the count at 2-2 on Chris. Stockton Taylor over in the on-deck circle. Just getting underway in the second to bottom of the second, and nobody out. And that pitch is going to be hit, and the shortstop will knock it down, and safe over at first is Chris Walker. So Charbonneau knocked the ball down, but he had to run over and grab it, and the big man, Chris Walker, has enough time to just beat out the throw. It was bang bang down there at first base. That will bring up Stockton Taylor now with one aboard and nobody out. Do or die. Columbia Basin River Dogs or Onondaga, New York must win to advance to the next round. There's a throw over there to get Walker back from O'Kane. Next delivery is going to be hitting about the same place, but this time he doesn't have to go over as far, and they won't turn two. Getting thrown out at second was Chris Walker as Charbonneau flipped it over to Centinola. Scored that 6-4. And on the fielder's choice is Stockton Taylor down at first base. That's going to bring up number 21, Josh Snyder, the first baseman. Josh from Ephrata and goes to Ephrata High School. He's 17. Here's a throw over to keep Stockton Taylor over at first base. The only Ephrata kid on the team is Josh. And getting picked off over at first base is Stockton Taylor. After spinning his wheels, saw the throw coming, lost his footing, and two down on the pickoff. Stockton Taylor can't afford too many of those in this type of game right there.
He told me himself.
So Snyder now, with no count, steps in, swings and misses at the first pitch.
Especially requested several times.
First baseman steps back in the left-handed batter's box, and he'll ground one towards first base. Pitcher's getting over, and O'Kane covers while Chris Davis throws the ball to him. So 3 outs after a base hit in the inning to start things off. Still leads to the minimum for the Columbia Basin River Dogs. And after 2 complete, it's Onondaga, New York 2, Columbia Basin 0. This is your 2001 Senior Babe Ruth World Series Broadcasting Network. We'll be right back in about 60 seconds.
We are real students, and this really is our college.
My dream will change the outcome of my life.
My college is allowing me to achieve my dream.
My dream is to be a pilot.
My dream is to be a nurse.
Only you can determine your dream. Big Bend will help you get there.
What's your dream?
Welcome back, Senior Babe Ruth fans, as we are here in Game 20 in the last game of our pool play in the 2011 16 to 18-year-old Senior Babe Ruth World Series. We're going the top half of the third, and that's going to bring up the leadoff hitter Alex Caruso for Onondaga, New York. They lead by a score of 2-0 over the Columbia Basin River Dogs. They have 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 runs, zeros for the River Dogs on their part of the board. That ball is going to be grounded out towards Davis Engel, and it eats him as it comes up on him. So E4 allows leadoff hitter Alex Caruso to make his way on. And that's going to bring up number 10, Brett Charbonneau, the shortstop. Charbonneau grounded to the pitcher in his last time up in the first. Taking his lead over at first is Caruso. And he'll draw a throw from Yeda. So 2-0, top half of the third. Here's the next delivery. Shows bunt, pulls it back, but it's a strike. 0-1 now on Charbonneau. Next delivery on the way. And it is bunted down well by Charbonneau. Picks him up and throws him out. And covering is Schneider, and throwing him out is Yeda on the bunt. Moving down to second base is Alex Caruso on the sacrifice. And 1 down, and that's going to bring up number 20, Pat Wright, the third baseman. So New York trying to extend its lead by getting a runner in scoring position with 1 out. Yeda looks back at the runner, holds him a little closer than before, and there's a base hit in between third and short. And Brighton Radall will come in and throw it into Stockton Taylor and keep the runner at third base. So over at third now is Alex Caruso on the single from Pat Wright. That's going to bring up number 15, Sean Peak. Peak flew out to Cameron Alvarado, but it wasn't really a fly out. It was more of an excellent catch that we were talking about earlier there in the beginning of the second inning. Outgoing and calling the play is Matt Naola as they got runners at first and third. What they're going to do with the situation. Stepping into his Peak. And there's a throw over to first base. from Yeda. And back in plenty of time is Wright. Good-sized crowd here for the River Dogs tonight. Love to watch them try to get into the second round of action. But they find themselves down by a score of 2-0 right now to Onondaga, New York. And your next delivery is going to be fouled off and out of play by Peak. Count 0-1. One away. Runners at first and third. Scores 2-0. Onondaga, New York. And time is called by Peak. New York wearing orange. Kind of coming into Tiger Stadium and wearing orange. Actually, it's not Tiger Stadium orange, Johnson O'Brien Stadium. But when I was growing up, it was Tiger Stadium. As the Freda Tigers are orange and black. That's the colors of New York tonight is orange, and he'll hit one out to Davis Single. He'll come up to it and go to Calvin Ralvo, and they will get an unhappy Sean Peak, who's actually a pretty good-sized kid, who couldn't mow it down the line enough, so that will keep the run from coming in, and that's just what the doctor ordered for the Columbia Basin River Dogs. So scored 4-6 and then 6-3 for the two putouts. And after 2.5 innings of play, it's the Columbia Basin, or excuse me, Onondaga, New York 2, Columbia Basin 0. This is the 2011 16 to 18-year-old Senior Babe Ruth World Series Broadcasting Network. We'll be right back in 1 minute.
Come on down to the 2011 Grant County Fair. Tons of fun for the family and lots of activities and crafts, food and livestock, the Moses Lake Rodeo Roundup and the Demo Derby, and lots of other stuff. The 2011 Fair will be held between August 16th through August 20th. So come on down and bring the family. You can find us at the fairgrounds here in Moses Lake.
As we're getting ready to go in the bottom half of the third inning, Columbia Basin River Dogs spoiled a good opportunity for Onondaga, New York, who had runners at third and first with one out. Managed to turn the double play, kept the score to 2-0, which is what they're behind right now. And they will send up catcher number 20, Matt Nayola, to see if he can get things going. And he almost does, but that ball is fouled. Right field side, kind of on the line. New baseball for Ryan O'Kane. Now 0-1 on Nayola. She is high, curveball, didn't quite break back down. Even up the count at 1-1.
Football, like quarterbacks, where that was all the plays.
Nayola will look at strike on the outside corner from curveball. O'Kane throwing the ball very well today.
No, like quarterbacks, where things
threw very well to hold San Gabriel to a couple of runs the other day. No, he did not go on the appeal. And he pretty much did leave it back on his shoulder as he turned his body. 2-2 now, the count on Nayola. Just getting started in the third inning, no outs. That's going to be fouled. Yes, first baseman does have a play, and so Chris Davis comes down with the foul ball for out number 1 here in the bottom of the third. And that's going to send up number 2, Mitch Yeda, the pitcher. So we'll see if Mitch can help his own cause and get the first hit here. And he'll look at a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 on Mitch. He'll look at strike 2. He wasn't ready to bat. Wouldn't give time. And Gabe will come down. And we'll go ahead and he'll talk to the umpire about it. And the umpire is going to let him know about it. And he'll walk back, and the crowd will give him a handful. I think what the thing is, he was asking for it for a long time. And strike 3. He'll look at the pitch on the outside corner. So that'll bring up Rico Moreno, number 10, with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. And after they threw it around, they kind of got away from the pitcher there, O'Kane. Pete will give him a hand, getting it back to him. So Rico will step in there. And he'll see a pitch on the outside for ball 1. 1-0 on Rico Moreno. O'Kane's next delivery on the way is on the outside corner for strike 1. Crowd kind of begging because those are actually some pretty good pitches and good. Swing and a miss for Moreno. 1-2. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. Rico is from Moses Lake. He's attending Big Bend Community College. Swing and a miss. And that is the 5th strikeout for Columbia Basin and the 5th strikeout for Ryan O'Kane, as he's only faced 9, and he's gone through the minimum of the order. After 3 complete, it's Onondaga, New York 2, Columbia Basin 0. This is the 2011 16 to 18-year-old senior Babe Ruth World Series Broadcasting Network. We'll be right back in 60 seconds.
Come on down to the 2011 Grant County Fair. Tons of fun for the family and lots of activities and crafts, food and livestock, the Moses Lake Rodeo Roundup and the Demo Derby, and lots of other stuff. The 2011 Fair will be held between August 16th through August 20th. So come on down and bring the family. You can find us at the fairgrounds here in Moses Lake.
Welcome back, Senior Babe Ruth fans. We're getting ready to go in the top half of the 4th inning, where Onondaga, New York is leading by a score of 2-0 over the Columbia Basin River Dogs. No hit for right now for the Columbia Basin River Dogs. 3 for Onondaga. The first pitch is fouled back from Chris Davis, number 18, the first baseman. Chris, last time up, had a base hit and scored one of the 2 runs, the first of 2 runs, back in the 2nd. And not sure, that's about the first time I've seen the umpire kind of miss down the middle there. That's 1-1 now on Davis. And does he commit? And the first base umpire says yes, he does. 1-2 now, the count on Chris Davis. Yeda's next delivery on the way is foul back. 1-2. 1-2 the count. Nobody out here in the top of the 4th. 2-0 your score. Onondaga, New York. Or Columbia Basin. That ball is in the dirt. Ball 2, 2-2. Number 18's a good-sized kid. Bats from the right-hand side. Next delivery on the way is popped up. Davis Engel makes his way back. He's calling everybody off. Makes the catch over there at second base, kind of deep in the outfield for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up David Campisi. And David also scored. He walked in his first at plate appearance and came home on Nathan Nagolian's double, which is on deck right now. First pitch is in the dirt for ball one. 1-0 on Campisi. 3 hits right now for Onondaga. That pitch is called strike. Umpire does have a high strike zone, higher than most. I've never had a problem with that. I've always felt like the bottom of the letters is a good strike zone. And here's the next one. Is going to be chopped down to Stockton Taylor. Still throwing him out? No. Tie goes to the runner, says umpire. I think it's Donnie Dahl down there, which is fine because the last close play was called that way too for the Columbia Basin River Dogs. So over at first base is David Campisi. Stockton Taylor had the ball, yet hit off of him. That'll be an error because it was hit right to him. He still picked it up, almost threw him out, but he lost the handle on it after it hit him in the chest and kind of flew up. Next batter is Nathan Nagolian. There's the strike on the inside corner for strike one. Nathan had a hit in between right center. There's a pickoff move, and we'll see if they get him down there at second, and they do. The pickoff was successful, but taking off immediately after the movement was Campisi, so the race was to see if he could get down to second base, but called the put out 1-3-6 down at second base on the pickoff. And that'll be the second out. That's going to keep the count at 0-1. Now 0-2 on Nathan Nagolian. 2-away now in the top half of the fourth. That pitch is inside for ball one. 1-2. 2-0 your score. Onondaga, New York leading the Columbia Basin River Dogs. Yeda's next pitch on the way is inside. Ball 2. 2-2-2. You can also watch as well as listen the 2011 National Babe Ruth World Series on www.columbiabasinherald.com. Swing and a miss. And I-Fiber Channel 1. That's going to end the inning. So getting out of another jam is Yeda. And after 3.5 innings are complete, or are gone through, Onondaga, New York leads by a score of 2-0 over Columbia Basin. This is the 2011 16 to 18-year-old Senior Babe Ruth World Series Broadcasting Network. We'll be right back in 60 seconds.
Come on down to the 2011 Grant County Fair. Tons of fun for the family and lots of activities and crafts, food and livestock, the Moses Lake Rodeo Roundup and the Demo Derby, and lots of other stuff. The 2011 fair will be held between August 16th through August 20th. So come on down and bring the family. You can find us at the fairgrounds here in Moses Lake.
Welcome back, Senior Babe Ruth fans. As we're getting ready to go in the bottom half of the fourth. Right now, Columbia Basin finds themselves behind by a score of 2-0 to Onondaga, New York. It's real simple. Win and you're in. Lose and you're out. If they win, they'd be the number 2 seed. If they lose, they'll be the 4, and they only take 3. Davis Engel will look at the first pitch for a strike from O'Kane. O'Kane's got 5 strikeouts in the ball game. Only 9 have come to the plate. Davis leading things off here in the 4th. He'll swing and miss at the second pitch. Davis from Ellensburg, and Skagit Valley CC is where he's attending. And he'll swing and a miss, but that ball's all the way back, and he's going to get on no problem as the ball goes up against the fence. So the 6th strikeout for Ryan O'Kane turns into a base runner for the River Dogs. And right now, they'll take it any way they can. It's going to bring up Brighton Radall. He was a strikeout victim also in the 1st. And a throw over there to get Davis at first base. He needs to be careful. Stockton Taylor was already picked off over there. And here's Brighton is going to bunt it. And he will be tagged out by Chris Davis, who picks it up. And Brighton tried to avoid a little bit, knew he had to stay in the baseline. But his sacrifice will get Davis Engel down to second base. And that's going to bring up number 22, Cameron Alvarado. Number 22, your shortstop for the Columbia Basin River Dogs. So we'll see if Alvarado, the number 3 hitter for the River Dogs, can get it done. If 3 and 4 and 5 usually aren't doing it, it's pretty hard to get it done. And he'll foul the first pitch back off. And it's been brought to the attention also that this tournament that the River Dogs are only hitting about 200, probably a little less than that now, as they don't have a hit in this game yet. It's hard to win that way, so they're really lucky that they're actually in that pitch is inside for ball 1, 1-1 now on Cameron Alvarado. That they're very fortunate that they even have an opportunity to move on as they beat San Gabriel by taking advantage of a lot of errors and making the most of the situation, playing a good first game. So they need to pull it together here. Swing and a miss from Alvarado. And O'Kane has got some good control going. 1-2 the count. He's got 6 strikeouts in the game so far. And the next delivery is going to be hit out to the shortstop, and it's underneath his legs. So once again, Engel will come around and score. He's a strikeout person that got down to first base on the pass ball. And Cameron Alvarado will be down at first base on an error from Charbonneau. Just pulled up too early on it. It was staying on the ground, didn't hop up. It's going to be number 18, Chris Walker, for the Columbia Basin River Dogs, the right fielder. Only 1 down here. It scores now 2-1. Still no hits for the River Dogs. 2 errors a piece for both sides, and we're just in the bottom of the 4th. There's a throw back to keep Alvarado close. See if Alvarado tries to take second. There he goes. Swing and a miss. Peak's throw. Alvarado's safe. It was a good throw by Peak, but Alvarado's got some wheels and got underneath the tag. So down to second is Cameron. Now in scoring position, and that was a strike, so 0-1 will be the count on Chris Walker. Going to have the coach come out for Onondaga, New York, and he's bringing in all of his infield. Probably talking a little bit more about keeping him on and play situations, and we are ahead right now 2-1. So let's remember that. And they'll all work their way back to their positions, and Peak will come back behind the plate. Another runner in scoring position. 1 out here in the bottom half of the 4th. 2-1 your score. New York leading Columbia Basin, but Columbia Basin hoping to get their first hit and score their second run. And that pitch is going to bounce out in front of home plate. And the appeal down to first base as Walker held up on his swing.
The only thing Mom has to talk about is the grandbaby.
And Peak continues to put back on his mask. 1-1 the count on Walker, one away.
Turned out to be very beneficial for both of you.
Alvarado down at second.
No, it's all just preventative.
And the next pitch is outside, not missing by much. Count now 2-1 on Chris Walker. So Walker steps back in with a 2-1 count. Kane looks out at the runner at second. And that's lined foul. Hopefully didn't hit nobody down there. It was a rocket down there just out of play at the fence line of the right field. So 2-2 now the count on Chris Walker, your right fielder for the Columbia Basin River Dogs, and that's going to prompt Peak to go back out and talk to O'Kane again. And that's going to bring Gabe to come down and talk to Chris Walker. And everybody now knows what they want to do. 2-2 is the count. 1 out. 2-1 your score. New York leading Columbia Basin. O'Kane comes set. The pitch is outside. Ball 3. So full count on the cleanup hitter for the Columbia Basin River Dogs. On deck and waiting over there is Stockton Taylor, the third baseman. And the next pitch, swing and a miss. So with this 7th strikeout is Ryan O'Kane, as Chris Walker goes down swinging. It's going to bring up number 11, Stockton Taylor, the third baseman. Stockton got on with a fielder's choice. Then he'll foul it out of play. Stockton's been hitting a lot in the number 3 hole, hitting 5 tonight. As Brighton has been put in the 2nd hole, that's moved down Alvarado. Putting Stockton Taylor number 5. The 0-1 delivery on Taylor is high. Ball 1, 1-1. Looking for the first base hit. It looks like Chris Walker's last time up, he got on with an error. It was one of the 2 errors for Onondaga, New York. And there is your first hit. Well hit over the second baseman, and incoming to score and tying the ball game is Cameron Alvarado. And very good timing for the River Dogs, as they don't want to be falling behind at this point in the ball game any further than what they were. So they tie it back up with their first base hit from Stockton Taylor. And that's going to bring up number 21, Josh Snyder, the first baseman. Josh is, last time up, hit it down towards the first baseline, and the first baseman threw it over to the pitcher for the out back in the 2nd inning. Taylor takes his lead. He's already been picked off once. Swing and a miss for Snyder. So 0-1 with 2 away here. 1 on at first base in Taylor. And Snyder seeing if he can keep things going. 1 hit finally scores, and it scored a run for the Columbia Basin River Dogs. Strike on the outside corner, so 0-2 now on Snyder. 0-2 with 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. Kind of a high pickoff throw over there, but coming down with it is Chris Davis. Stockton Taylor takes his lead. Just missing on the outside corner is O'Kane, and the count goes to 1-2 on Josh Snyder. So new ball game, 2-2 now. We're in the bottom of the fourth with 2 outs. Snyder steps back in, waves the bat back and forth. Here's Kane's delivery, and it's outside. 2-2 now, the count on Snyder. You can also watch the games. Getting ready for the playoff segments after this game. Another throw over towards to keep Taylor back. You can watch it at www.columbiabasinherald.com. You can watch it on cbhtv.mobi. You can watch it on iFiber Channel 1. 2-2 the count. Snyder, and he looks at an outside pitch on the corner for strike 3. So Taylor will be left over at first base, but not before they scored 2. And after 4 complete, it's Onondaga, New York 2, Columbia Basin River Dogs 2. This is the 2011 16 to 18-year-old Senior Babe Ruth World Series Broadcasting Network. We'll be right back.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah. We're back in it.
That's right.
With 1 hit. 2 runs. Can't ask anything more than that.
No. Except for another one.
That's what we need. We need a little loud music.
32 seconds.
Down there dancing. Ross is up here by me. There's Monty Raid all right below me.
The YMCA the other day was so funny.
3, 2, you.
Welcome back, Senior Babe Ruth fans, as we've got the Columbia Basin River Dogs who tied up the ball game here, and we're going to be going into the top half of the 5th inning. Scores 2-2, and they got their first hit. They got a few breaks also, and we have the grounds crew out there doing their thing, and they're going through their dance moves. And they're kind of doing some type of a 2-step thing going on right now. And they've worked a routine every single night during the 8 o'clock game. So this is probably about their... They did the old fake lasso to the rake. After they pulled the rake up, after they stepped on it, then they did the... now they're doing the rodeo. They roped off one of the guys, and now they're running off with them off the field. Good show. Reminds me of the Grant County Fair that's getting ready to come up this next week. And with that great piece of entertainment, we'll get back to our game here in the top half of the 5th inning, where Onondaga, New York is going to send up number 21, which is a pinch hitter. No? Yes. It's a pinch hitter. It's going to be Andy Shryak. And he'll look at high for ball 1. So Andy stands from the left-hand side. He's a pretty good sized kid. Shryak. And then he'll look at strike 1, curveball. He's a lefty going against a lefty in Mitch Yeda. 1-1's your count. Nobody out here in the top half of the 5th. That pitch is going to be fouled off and down towards the left field side. So we'll get a new baseball out there. 1-2 now your count on Shryak. Andrew Shryack. Next delivery. Outside for ball 2. 2-2 now, your count on Andy. Great crowd here supporting the home team. And that pitch is outside. So we've gone full on Shryack. And Yeda not wanting to put on the leadoff runner, especially right after we went ahead and just got her tied up. So we'll see if he can come back here. And he does. Strike 3. Umpire punches him out. Shryack will head back as he was trying to do his best. I'm going to head down to first base. And that's going to bring up number 11, second baseman Mark Centinella. Ball 1 in the dirt to Mark. So 1 down here in the top half of the 5th. That's going to be fouled out of play towards the right field side. And a new baseball is given to Nayola to give to Yeda. And stepping back in is Mark Centinola. You look at ball 2. 2-1 now the count. On number 11. Next pitch on the way. Nope, inside. Ball 3. 3-1 now on Centinola. After him comes up the top of the order, Alex Caruso over in the on-deck circle. Wow, that ball is hit a long way, and it is gone. Oh no, he caught it. Wow. The River Dogs have their white uniforms on. That ball was ran down, I believe, by Rico Moreno. What an incredible catch. I thought it might be out of the yard. Since it's dark here, it got up there far enough. Running it down is Rico Moreno. And until the umpire ran out there and threw up the out sign, I couldn't tell if it was a home run or if it was what it was. So fantastic defense by the River Dogs. And strike 1 on the outside corner to Alex Caruso. Wow, that's 2 great plays turned in by the River Dogs. That one's outside. 1-1 now the count on Caruso. The other one came on a fantastic catch by Cameron Alvarado in the beginning of the 2nd. There's another pitch outside. 2-1 now the count on leadoff hitter Alex Caruso. 2 outs here in the top half of the 5th. Tie score, 2-2, Onondaga and Columbia Basin. There's a hit out towards center field. Rico will come over and he'll throw it into second. They got him at second base. They do. Trying to take the extra base was Alex Caruso, as Rico Moreno, turning over his 2nd fantastic play, kind of played the cat and mouse like he had dropped it, turned around and then threw it in and threw it on the dime. It took a perfect throw to get Alex Caruso from where he was at. So defense being the best friend right now for the River Dogs. And after 4.5 innings are complete, it's tied at 2-2. This is the 2011 16 to 18-year-old Senior Babe Ruth World Series Broadcasting Network, and we'll be right back in 1 minute.
Come on down to the 2011 Grant County Fair. Tons of fun for the family and lots of activities and crafts, food and livestock, the Moses Lake Rodeo Roundup and the Demo Derby, and lots of other stuff. The 2011 fair will be held between August 16th through August 20th. So come on down and bring the family.
Welcome you can find back, Senior Babe Ruth fans, as we've got your 2011 16 to 18-year-old World Series here at Ephrata, Washington, where the Columbia Basin River Dogs are going into the bottom of the 5th, and they're tied with Onondaga, New York, looking to try to take the lead. They'll be sending up number 20, Matt Nayola, the catcher, and he'll look at strike one. Matt, the last time up, flew out to the first baseman. I think it was a foul out. And he'll look at another strike on the outside corner. So quickly 0-2. Matt not happy with himself, falling behind. And here's the next pitch, and that's wasted outside for ball one. 1-2 now, the count on Nayola. Next pitch from O'Kane is high and up around the eyebrows of Nayola. 2-2 now your count. Just getting underway in the bottom of the 5th. No outs. And that's going to be out of play. Fouled off. 2-2 remains the count on Matt. On deck is number 2, Mitch Yeda, the pitcher. Wow, that pitch didn't miss by much. 3-2 now, the pitch on Nayola. And that's fouled back. So 3-2 now. Still remains the count on Matt Nayola. The crowd getting into it. Exciting baseball. Do or die. Bottom of the 5th right now. And there's a nice hit. And will the center fielder catch up to it? He does. What a great play by Alex Caruso as he does his own Rico Moreno impersonation. Had to get back on it, did a diving play in. The River Dog fans clapping, as that's just flat out good baseball right there. It's kind of disheartening for Nayola, who had himself probably a double had he not caught that. Number 2, Mitch Yeda, the pitcher. So another good defensive play in the game. And there's going to be one back towards O'Kane. He'll knock it down, and he'll go over to first base. Mitch doing a good job of hustling down the whole way. Score at 1-3 for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up number 10, Rico Moreno, the center fielder. So, yeah, Nayola hitting the ball as hard as anybody has as far as for the River Dogs. And just wasn't enough to get over Caruso. Trying to drop down the bunt is Moreno. 2-2 is your score here. 2 outs in the bottom half of the 5th. 4 hits for Onondaga. 1 hit for the Columbia Basin River Dogs. A couple errors apiece. Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Moreno. He's the 9th man in the order. And O'Kane's next delivery outside. Ball 1. 1-2. On deck is the top of the order, Davis Engel. Moreno will look at outside for ball 2. Ball not missing by much. Moreno is a Moses Lake boy, Big Ben. And he'll step back in. He looks at outside for ball 3. So pitches are just missing outside right now. And he'll swing and miss at that one. So down on strikes goes Rico Moreno, and I believe that will be strikeout number 8. Strikeout number 8 for O'Kane. And after 5 are complete, we're tied up at 2s, Onondaga, New York, and Columbia Basin. This is the 2011 16 to 18-year-old Senior Babe Ruth World Series. Broadcasting Network will be right back in 1 minute.
Come on down to the 2011 Grant County Fair. Tons of fun for the family and lots of activities and crafts, food and livestock, the Moses Lake Rodeo Roundup and the Demo Derby, and lots of other stuff. The 2011 Fair will be held between August 16th through August 20th. So come on down and bring the family. You can find us at the fairgrounds here in Moses Lake.
Senior Babe Ruth fans, we're going in the top half of the 6th inning, all deadlocked at 2. Onondaga, New York, and Columbia Basin River Dogs. And Onondaga is going to send up the number 2 hitter in the lineup, number 10, Brett Charbonneau, the shortstop. Yeda's first pitch to him is outside for ball 1. Charbonneau both times has hit back to Yeda. And the next pitch on the way is strike on the inside corner for 1-1. Next delivery on the way. Held up. 2-1. 2-1 on Charbonneau. Top half of the 6th. Tied at 2. Do or die. That's going to be Josh Snyder's ball down at first base, and he'll corral it for out number 1 on Charbonneau. 1 away in the top half of the 6th. That's going to bring up number 20, Pat Wright, the third baseman. Wright so far has grounded out to the shortstop and has a base hit, and then was thrown out at second base with Davis Engel going for the double play. First pitch to him is over for strike 1. So, do or die. They must win. The River Dogs must win, or Onondaga, if you're a New York fan, must win. Next pitch is inside for ball 1. 1-1 now the count on Pat Wright. If the River Dogs win, they're the number 2 seed. That puts them playing at 8 o'clock in the Thursday night single elimination. And it plays against Noblesville, Indiana. Next pitch is strike on the inside corner, 1-2. If Onondaga wins, they become the number 3 seed because Ottumwa, Iowa would move up. Means they'd play at 5 p.m. against Team Cape Cod. Strike 3. And Pat Wright not happy with himself as he goes down on strikes. That's going to bring up Sean Peak, the catcher, number 15. So far, Peak has flown out to Cameron Alvarado and hit a ground ball out to Cameron Alvarado. So Cam needs to get ready. And the first pitch is just under his feet for ball 1. So Onondaga would play at 5 o'clock should they get in. River Dogs would play at 8 o'clock. These are all Pacific Standard Time. Umto, Iowa is the one who's already in, who's waiting to see if they're a second or a third. There's a swing and a miss by Peak for strike 1. 1-1 now the count. 2 outs here in the top half of the 6th. Upton, Iowa will be the 3rd seed if the River Dogs gets in. They'll be the 2nd seed should Onondaga get in. That pitch is fouled out of play. Reason being is the head, or actually the River Dogs should be 3-1. And Iowa would be 2-2. Iowa beat New York if they were both 2-2. If that was the case, and that ball is fouled off, and still 1-2 on Sean Peak. 2-2, or excuse me, 1-2 it says up there. 1-2 is the count. 2 outs, top half of the 6th. Swing and a miss. And down goes Sean Peak, and he's kind of about as upset himself as Pat Wright was. And that's 2 strikeouts in the inning for Yeda. He's throwing a great ball game. And after 5.5 innings are complete, we are at 2s between Onondaga, New York, and Columbia Basin. This is the 2011 16 to 18-year-old Senior Babe Ruth World Series Broadcasting Network. We'll be right back after 1 minute.
Come on down to the 2011 Grant County Fair. Tons of fun for the family and lots of activities and crafts, food and livestock, the Moses Lake Rodeo Roundup and the Demo Derby, and lots of other stuff. The 2011 Fair will be held between August 16th through August 20th. So come on down and bring the family. You can find us at the fairgrounds here in Moses Lake.
Welcome back, Senior Babe Ruth fans, as we're going in the bottom half of the 6th, and we got Davis Engel getting ready to come up for the Columbia Basin River Dogs. We're locked at 2s. Onondaga, New York, and Columbia Basin River Dogs. Win you in, lose, and you're watching from the sidelines. If you're from New York, you're probably starting to fly home. O'Kane throwing a great game, so is Yeda. Oh, nice hit up the middle for Davis Engel, and it's going to get by the center fielder, backed up by the right fielder. He'll throw it in, but not in time. And in with a double. Possibly a single with an error is Davis Engel. But that's a hit. And that's what the River Dogs needed. And the crowd is fired up. That's going to bring up number 16, Brighton Radall. And I would be very shocked if we don't see Radall laying down the bunt. So we'll see what happens as the coach goes out for New York, pulls in the infield. Gabe pulls in Radall. And we're going to go over the big plan and the big play and the big pitcher. Gabe's done. Doesn't take you that long to figure out what they're going to do. And I would imagine you probably told Brighton that if you can actually go down towards the third baseline, Davis will have an easier time if you pull in the third baseman versus the first baseman coming over. But at the same time, you can't bunt it back to the pitcher, because then you can get Davis a dead duck. So O'Kane steps back, looks back at Engel. Brighton is kind of kicking around the dirt in the batter's box. And here's your pitch, squaring around, pops it up. Not what they needed. Brighton jumps up and down. He knows that that's definitely not what we wanted there. So, 1 out as Pete gets underneath the popped up bunt, and that's going to send up Cameron Alvarado. So Alvarado will have to put a little bit more into it if the River Dogs are going to be able to go ahead and capitalize on the leadoff double out there by Engel. Kane's delivery is hit between first and second. Right fielder come up with it. Looks like he's going to throw it home, and he's out. What a great throw out there by Nathan Nagolian. Put it right on the money. They gambled, and it didn't work. But you know, that's it was going to have to take a great throw, but it was a great throw. And out by about 3 steps was the speedy Davis Engel. So over at first base on the hit is Cameron Alvarado. You hate to strand him. You really do. And so that's sometimes the price you pay. But it's exciting when it comes across. So over at first base is Alvarado. And he'll have to go back on the pickoff move. Number 18, Chris Walker, now will step up. So bottom of the 6th. If that run scores, you can go out there and shut them down. You win the ball game. And that pitch is for a strike. So 0-1 now on Chris Walker.
He's like significantly lower than, which is still a lot of money.
Exciting baseball. Some good baseball here going on.
Doug hasn't had that successful football year, but I think Sarkeesian's an awesome coach. He's really good. I don't think Paul
O'Kane throws over to first. And back is Alvarado. And Alvarado, I would not be surprised to see if he does not attempt to steal again. He already stole the base earlier. That pitch is high for ball. Ball 1, strike 1. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Tied up 2-2. Columbia Basin almost had themselves a run. Nick Nagolian, great play from right field on a base hit. And there's the pickoff. There's a lot of people weren't happy about that one, including Alvarado. So Donnie Dahl might have missed one over there. Obviously the home run crowd, but if Alvarado doesn't think he was picked off that genuinely, then there's a possibility he wasn't. But over there on the pickoff, makes the 3rd out of the inning. And through 6, we're still tied at 2s. This is the 2011 16 to 18-year-old Senior Babe Ruth World Series Broadcasting Network. We'll be right back in 60 seconds.
Come on down to the 2011 Grant County Fair. Tons of fun for the family and lots of activities and crafts, food and livestock, the Moses Lake Rodeo Roundup and the Demo Derby, and lots of other stuff. The 2011 Fair will be held between August 16th through August 20th. So come on down and bring the family. You can find us at the fairgrounds here in Moses Lake.
Welcome back, Senior Babe Ruth fans, as we're going into the top half of the 7th, and we have a 2-2 score. Onondaga, New York is your visiting team. They'll be coming up. Columbia Basin River Dogs will be trying to hold them as your home team. They're going to be sending up Chris Davis, the first baseman, number 5 hitter in their lineup. So far, he's flown out to second base, and he's had a base hit and scored in this ball game. Back in the 2nd. Yeda throwing a great game. Can't ask anything more than keeping their team down to 2 runs. And there's a high pitch for ball 1. So the River Dogs need to get 3 outs here and get back to the bottom of the 7th. It's a good feeling when you can do that. Next pitch on the way is going to be shellacked by Davis. And it's gone. So Davis put a charge into one. He's built like he can hit a lot of home runs. And 3-2. You know, I was just saying at the break, you never like to start off with a double, blow the bunt, get thrown out at the plate, and get picked off at first base, because sometimes it's just a bad feeling. And Chris Davis taking advantage of that situation and drove the ball out of the yard where the breeze is just heading out. We're going to go out there and talk to Yeda, make sure that he's all right, and let him know, hey, you've been doing good. Stay with it. And we'll try to get it back in the bottom half of the inning. 3-2 is now your score. Onondaga taking the lead on the Chris Davis home run. And they're going to send up David Campisi, the left fielder. So stepping in is Campisi. Here's the next delivery. It's going to be hit out to shortstop there, and Cameron Alvarado will throw it, and way to come down with it, Josh Schneider. Wow. Had to jump up in the air and still came down on the bag. One away. 6-3. That's going to bring up their 8. Nathan Nagolian, the right fielder. He's had a double and struck out the last time up. That first pitch is inside to him. Pops out of the glove of Naola. Nagolian picked it up and gave it back to Naola. Next pitch on the way is high. Ball 2. 2-0 now the count on Nagolian. Next pitch from Yeda. Right down the middle. Strike one. Ooh. 2-1 now the count. Scoreboard says 1-1. It's 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2 now the count on Nagolian. 3-2 is your score right now. Columbia Basin down by a run in the top half of the 7th inning. And that pitch will make the count full. Full count now on Nagolian. There, the scoreboard's right. And that's going to be a ground ball to Davis Engel. He'll take an easy hop to him, and he'll throw it over. And that's only 2 outs. A lot of them thought that was the 3rd out. It's only 2 away. The only other out was the one that Chris Davis put out of the ballpark. So that's going to bring up Ryan O'Kane, the pitcher. He struck out the first time up. I believe he had a pinch hitter the last time up. And he'll hit for himself this time around. 1-0 the count on O'Kane. Swing and a miss. 1-1 now on O'Kane. Here's the pitch. Strike 2. Outside corner. 1-2 now the count on Ryan O'Kane from Yeda. And he'll serve up a soft single in front of Moreno out there in center field. So going down and getting it is O'Kane. That's going to send up number 11, Mark Centinola. And 2 outs. They'll get a jacket out there for Ryan O'Kane so he can stay warm. And Centinola will step in. So 2 away, 1 on, 1 in. 3-2 is the score right now. Onondaga, New York, and Columbia Basin. That's going to be a base hit. Almost hits O'Kane. He'll go down to second, and the ball comes in from right fielder Chris Walker. So 2 hits in a row from the bottom of the order for Onondaga. And that's going to bring up the top of the order at Alex Caruso, the center fielder. So we'll see. And that's going to, Matt Nayola's going to go out and he's going to talk. And he's going to make the pitching change. Coach Randy Boroff had somebody warming up in the bullpen down there already. I'll let you know who that is, but right now we're going to break for about 60 seconds so we can hear from more from our sponsors.
Come on down to the 2011 Grant County Fair. Tons of fun for the family and lots of activities and crafts, food and livestock, the Moses Lake Rodeo Roundup and the Demo Derby, and lots of other stuff. The 2011 Fair will be held between August 16th through August 20th. So come on down and bring the family. You can find us at the fairgrounds here in Moses Lake.
Welcome back, Senior Babe Ruth fans. We're in the top half of the 7th, and Cody Johns is going to be your new pitcher for the Columbia Basin River Dogs. Nayola will go out and talk to him. We got runners at first and second for Onondaga. They are O'Kane out at second, and we got Mark Centinola out at first. And coming to the plate is Alex Caruso, number 4, the center fielder and leadoff hitter. And so Johns, who's made a couple of appearances already and has done a good job in the tournament, will step in there. And he'll throw inside for ball 1. 1-0 on Caruso. So looking to try to get out of the inning and seeing if they can get a run or two themselves as Columbia Basin now that they're down by a run. 1 run came in on the home run of Chris Davis. There's 2 balls. So Cody looking to find the plate. Looks out at the runners. And here's the pitch. That's going to be a base hit into right field. Coming up with it is Chris Walker, and he'll throw it in. And he's going to be out at the plate. Is going to be O'Kane on a great throw. So this is the battle of the right fielders as just a gun comes in from Chris Walker to match Nathan Nagolian. Only one comes in on it. Score O'Kane dead at the plate, 9-2, as the third out on the base hit from Alex Caruso. And after 6.5 innings are now complete, Onondaga takes the lead 3-2 over Columbia Basin. This is the 2011 16 to 18-year-old Senior Babe Ruth World Series Broadcasting Network, and we'll be right back after 60 seconds.
come on down to the 2011 Grant County Fair. Tons of fun for the family and lots of activities and crafts, food and livestock, the Moses Lake Rodeo Roundup and the Demo Derby, and lots of other stuff. The 2011 Fair will be held between August 16th through August 20th. So come on down and bring the family. You can find us at the fairgrounds here in Moses Lake.
Scored by Chris Davis by a home run in the top of the 7th. It's do or die for the Columbia Basin River Dogs. Time to answer. This is where it's fun to be the home team. Get her done. Because if they don't, they're done. And Onondaga, New York is going out there to talk to their pitcher, O'Kane, who's gone the distance and done a good job. And I think it's time for Chris Walker to answer Chris Davis. Both of them are both tall and beefy kids. Maybe Davis a little bit more bulky, but Walker is a big kid too, and he's our cleanup hitter. I think it's only fitting that he should give one a ride also. Swing and a miss. He was hearing it. He was going after it. 0-1 is the count now. Walker. 3-2 is your score. Inside curveball, ball one. 1-1 the count on Chris Walker, the right fielder. On deck is Stockton Taylor. And there's a swing and a foul back from Walker. And so 1-2 now the count. It's kind of calm out there right now in the flagpole. And that pitch is up high around the helmet. 2-2. 2-2 the count on Walker. 3-2 is the score on Onondaga. River Dogs looking to claw back. There's another high pitch. So the count's full. On Walker. Time for the River Dogs to try to get to O'Kane. They have gotten a couple of hits recently. They only had one for the longest time. He fouls that one off. 8 hits right now for Onondaga. 3 hits for the River Dogs. 3-2 your score right now, Onondaga. 3-2 in errors, Onondaga. And another foul off. So Chris Walker doing a good job of staying alive. He needs to get aboard. Be good to have the leadoff hitter aboard. Full count. And that's going to be popped up towards center field. And to make the play is Caruso, and he comes down with it for out number 1. It's going to bring up number 11, Stockton Taylor. And then he will be followed by Josh Snyder. Got a right-hander, though, over in the batter's box, so I don't think it is. There's a base hit, just over the top of the short side. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Left fielder will come up with it. In with a stand-up double is Stockton Taylor. Somehow the ball getting by David Campisi after it went over Charbonneau's head. And a runner in scoring position with 1 out. Wow. And that's going to bring up number 35, which is Jacob Yamane. So Jacob Yamane will step in now and see if he can get home Stockton Taylor. He is going to be hitting for Josh Snyder. He'll look at strike 1 on a curveball over. 0-1 now the count. 1 away, bottom of the 7th. Stockton Taylor out at second base. Base hit could tie up this ball game. Charbonneau playing behind Stockton Taylor. There goes the pickoff. Charbonneau is playing over there far enough that I can't imagine that he's going to pitch it. He's going to start out over there again. That he would actually pitch it without Charbonneau actually working his way back over a little bit closer. But they do know how they have to keep him close. Swing and a miss. 0-2 now on Yamati. Problem is with Yamati is that he's kind of been cold on the bench, but at the same time, Josh Snyder couldn't handle Kane that well himself. So he walks down, he looks at Gabe, and Gabe looks at him and says, "You've been waiting your whole life for this type of a bat. Just do what you do best." Yamani will step back in. Here's the pitch. Up high. Ball one. 1-2 on Yamani.
Owen's freshman coach would play them 2 minutes at a time and then take them out. And he would play 5 kids and then 5 kids.
So Yamani will step back in. And he turns into a pitch. Just misses. 2-2. 2-2 now the count with 1 out. And a man at second base in Stockton Taylor. Need a base hit to tie this thing up.
And they're not even excited because they just don't get it. It's been such a horrible year.
And here's the next pitch. Outside. All 3 in the crowd, as you can hear, we'll get into that. Exciting baseball here in Ephrata, Washington during the World Series, 2011, the World Series. And here's the full count pitch. It's fouled off on a curveball. So Yamani getting a piece of it. Kane's got pretty good control. He hasn't been walking hardly anybody. 3-2 count on Yamani on deck. It's going to be Matt Nayola. And stepping back out, calling time. Now the people, the River Dogs, are on their feet. And he'll step off again, Will O'Kane. Probably not the best thing, as that probably just encourages more. And to go out and talk to his pitcher is Sean Peak. And if that works, if O'Kane gives the idea that that'll make a difference, then you can bet that's going to get the crowd riled up. Here they are starting again. Full count on Yamani. 1 out. Man at second. Swing and a miss, and he answers. Peak's pretty excited about that, and he should be. So down on strikes goes Yamani with 2 outs now and a man at second base. This will be the last hopes for the Columbia Basin River Dogs. Matt Nayola will step in. And just a base hit can score and tie things up with 2 outs. And going out just talking is the coach. And he's going to talk to his pitcher saying, "Hey, you did a good job there." And working his way out is the umpire, because he's been out there for quite a while. And coming out is, I think what he's going to do is he kind of wanted to talk to the umpire and tell him, "Hey, make sure that We keep them under wraps here behind the plate.
He looks really relaxed.
Don't want you probably jumping up and down, although you're probably not going to keep people from standing up and kind of bobbing up and down and clapping their hands, although it didn't phase O'Kane, showing what a good pitcher he is. So Nayola will step in there now with 2 outs, and he'll look at ball 1. Out at second is Stockton Taylor. 3-2 your score right now. Onondaga, New York, over the Columbia Basin River Dogs, looking for a base hit to tie this thing up. Do or die time. Whoa! And a little amped up is O'Kane as that pitch almost got over peak. 2-0 now the count. And on deck, probably be a pinch hitter, looks like. 3-0. Looks like on deck is going to be Armando De Leon. Armando De Leon has a home run already in this contest, or not in this contest, but in this tournament. And there's ball 4. Oh, called a strike. A bit delayed deal there. Crowd's going to get on him. Stockton Taylor out at second base. 3-1 the count on Nayola. Strike 2. Curveball in the inside corner. O'Kane is a competitor. He has answered everything, and he's lived up to it. Full count again. Yep, ball 4 though. He lost that one. So runners at second, or first and second, and that's going to bring up Armando De Leon. And they'll go out and they'll talk. And we got a pinch runner going over to run for Nayola. And that's going to be Johnny Navarro. So Pete comes back. Randy comes up and looks at De Leon and is giving him a little bit of advice. So Navarro down at first. Stockton Taylor at second.
Pat?
Yeah.
We're having all sorts of problems here.
Are we? That's not a good time.
No, I know. It was right when you said excellent baseball, and all of a sudden, bam.
Uh-oh.
So, anyways, keep going for the internet people.
Okay.
And I'm working on it.
Okay. So, right now, De Leon steps in. It's 0-1. Next delivery from O'Kane is high. 1-1 now. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. 1-1 on De Leon. O'Kane's delivery on the way. High. Ball 2. 2-1 now the count. And O'Kane steps back in. De Leon looks, fouls it off. 2-2 is now your count on Armando De Leon. 2-2 with 2 outs. 3-2's your score. It's crunch time. And ball 3. Oh, and he rung him. And that'll be the end of the tournament. Kind of too bad. That wasn't one of the better pitches right there, unfortunately. And Randy's going to come up and say, "Really? To end the game?" And so they'll come down. So, anyways, it looks like we might have lost our KULE feed. But down on strikes goes De Leon, and down go the Columbia Basin River Dogs. Will end up playing at 5 o'clock. They're going to be playing against Team Cape Cod. the number 2 seed. And then later on, it looks like the number 2 seed now is going to be Ottumwa, Iowa. And you're going to be playing the National 3, which is Noblesville, Indiana. So those are the games that will be scheduled for tomorrow night in the single elimination tournament. This one was 3-2 Onondaga, New York over Columbia Basin River Dogs. I would say that pretty much the star of the game would have to be Ryan O'Kane, as he really tore it up and is showing 2 straight games, the 2 games that they actually won. Stockton Taylor looks like he's going to be named the player of the game for Columbia Basin. And he had about 2 hits along with the fielder's choice. Mitch Yeda throwing a good game too, keeping this thing close the whole way. Columbia Basin River Dogs losing a heartbreaker. Onondaga, New York moving on. It's been a pleasure having you. Join us again tomorrow at 5 p.m. where we start the elimination round. And it's single elimination. And the first game again should be between Onondaga, New York at 5 o'clock. That'll be 8 o'clock Eastern time against Team Cape Cod. And it's game 2 at 8 o'clock, 11 o'clock Eastern time, 8 o'clock Pacific time, will be Noblesville, Indiana against Ottumwa, Iowa. It's been great having you, and we'll hope to see you tomorrow.
8 o'clock tomorrow night, Noblesville, Indiana against Ottumwa, Iowa. Friday. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for tuning in to our last game of pool play here for the Senior Babe Ruth World Series. Tough loss for the River Dogs. Tough one, but you know, we sure do send our thanks. We've seen a lot of good baseball here the last few days. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to want to buckle your seatbelt because we are going to start the playoff bracket tomorrow. First game, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And second game is going to be at 8 p.m. Same thing on Friday. The winners of those 2 games are going to go on to face the number 1 seeds in each division. Okay? Once again, I want to thank all our viewers on the internet and on the iFiber TV network, Channel 1. We will check back with you tomorrow afternoon about 4:30 p.m. Pacific time.